Hello and welcome along to AVFTS Wrexham. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whenever you're watching this video. Thank you for tuning in. We've got some important news to discuss today, and that is all about Wrexham's transfer strategy. With a couple of weeks to go until the transfer window shams shut, Wrexham and Phil Parkinson have both said and suggested that they aren't done with business. Believe it or not, Wrexham is still not done with business. However, their whole approach to this window may have gone wrong and could be going wrong, and it lands and lies on one person and one piece of information. I'm going to be bringing you the latest news and developments coming out of Wrexham and what this means and what am I suggesting. But before we do go any further, please make sure you smash a like on this button. Can we hit 50 likes on this video? I'm sure we can do that. But go on, smash a like for me. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Turn on the notification bell on. This is the home of Wrexham fan content. We're doing match previews, predicted lineups, watch-alongs, breaking news, you name it, I've got it. So make sure you're locked in on this channel for the foreseeable future. And of course, get in the comment section your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions on the news that I'm bringing you today. People, let's not beat around the bush now. Let's get into it. Wrexham have signed a whopping total of players this summer window. From the likes of Danny Ward to O'Brien to Kieffer Moore to Windass to Libby Kaketier, it's been a blast. And of course, even Premier League experience, England international Connor Cody. You're thinking, can this window get any better? How good is this? Well, Wrexham actually had come out and publicly said that their business is not done. However, there is a big twist in this tale because the way in which Wrexham wanted to go and sign more players could go completely wrong. And that is because of one person. And unfortunately, we as fans are going to have to hold tight on this situation. We as fans are going to have to lock in because it all comes on the update of this player that is on your screen right now. None other than Mr. Kieffer Moore. Kieffer Moore is the reason why Wrexham and the transfer plan could go dastardously wrong. There is a real fear and real scare in the potential injury to Kieffer Moore. He's undergoing more scans, he's undergoing more assessments, but the man who Wrexham signed from Sheffield United only a week ago, who made a fantastic start on his debut for Wrexham at Southampton away and completely was the reason why that game changed when he had to go off injured. It is looking very worrying about the situation when it comes to Kieffer Moore. And I'm going to show you the updates on what Phil Parkinson said and then give you my assessment on this situation. It is completely touch and go now on this one. And this is what Parky has said. He has said the following. He has said he is going to have a scan on his ankle, so he won't know the extent of that for a couple of days. We just have got to keep our fingers crossed with it. We know which areas we want to add to the squad. Obviously, if the scan comes back and it's really bad, there might be a slight change of thought process. But in the main, we are sticking to how we set out in the summer in terms of how we want the squad to be. Oh boy, this is something that Wrexham and Phil Parkinson definitely didn't plan for. Definitely was not in the equation. And all notes that they wrote up this summer, all those months of preparation for transfer recruitment may just about to be ripped up and go horribly wrong. Because what Phil Parkinson is basically suggesting is if Kieffer Moore is out for a sustained period of time, he simply cannot rely on the forward players that he has at his disposal in Smith, in Hardy, in Windass, who featured in amongst the Wrexham squad against Southampton. And that's not even to include the likes of J-Rod and Marriott as well, who simply, Parky seems to have said, are not good enough or aren't going to be anywhere near the equation of playing for Wrexham in the Championship. So clearly, there were a couple more areas where Wrexham probably wanted to strengthen, probably wanted a bolster, maybe another defender, maybe another wide player, but also the players that they wanted to move on. And you can look at it in two phrases. You could look at it as Is Parky suggesting that if Kieffer Moore's injury is a more sustainable and long one, that he's actually going to hold on to another striker and not get rid of one? Or is he saying that simply if there's no Kieffer Moore for a long time, we need to get another quality player in like Kieffer Moore? We need another player. Kieffer Moore is the number one striker. You lose your number one striker all the way up till Christmas or after, you're going to need something else. So it depends how you look at it, Wrexham fans. Is Phil Parkinson talking about the transfer plans of getting rid of players and having to change that? Or is it about bringing in someone else? Is he looking at different areas of the squad? And I think that is a massive statement of intent. My personal opinion is this, and I think this is where I'm going to sort of put my 2 pence in. A player of Kieffer Moore's stature was clear as anything on the weekend. Clear as anything. He was an absolute pioneer in everything that Wrexham did good against Southampton. He was the man who held the ball up. He was the man who brought the midfielders into play and the wide man. He was everything that Wrexham built upon. And there was no coincidence that when he went off injured, the game shifted. The game changed. Wrexham had to bring on Smith, who had played 0 pre-season minutes. Nothing like the player that Kieffer Moore is. Even Hardy, someone that Wrexham, again, a new recruit that they've brought in, completely different player to Kieffer Moore. Kieffer Moore has a real clear role in this Wrexham team. A target man who can run in behind, but he's the focal point, where the likes of Cleworth, Cody, Brunt can clip a ball forward into the big man who holds it up and brings others into attack. Simply, for me, an irreplaceable player. Hardy, Smith, Marriott, they can all do the similar sort of things. Kieffer Moore stands on his own platform. Kieffer Moore stands as his own man, as something different. So I wholeheartedly believe if Wrexham lose out on Kieffer Moore for more than 3 or 4 months, and it takes them up to Christmas or January or however long, I think he's going to have to go back to the drawing board and bring in another very well-established hold-up type striker. This may even, though, push the deal for Nathan Broadhead. And that's what some other Wrexham fans have been speculating. Potentially, this Kieffer Moore situation may push Wrexham to go even harder on recruiting Broadhead from Ipswich and getting him to change his mind. But overall, Kieffer Moore is the reason why Wrexham transfer plans could all go wrong in these final few weeks. And this is a tension that we need to have a look at. So everyone, keep your fingers crossed. Pray that that scan on his ankle comes back all okay. And let's hope that the Kieffer Moore injury isn't as serious as we first thought. But I'll be honest, Phil Parkinson coming out and making these comments, it's worried me. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. Big up to each and every single one of you. I hope you're well. Make sure you smash the like, comment on this video, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm out of here, people. Ta-da.